Hey everyone, this is just kind of a quick little review of the Anycubic Neo 2. This is my first bed slinger. I mostly print, or the only other printer I've had is the Bamboo P1S, which is what I've been printing on for the last year. So this was $150. I figured I'd give it a shot. I've never set one up before. I've never dialed one in before. So I just wanted to give just a quick little review if you are thinking about getting it from someone that doesn't have any experience ever setting up or printing on a bed slinger or any cubic or any printer really other than the Bamboo. So I'm printing this guy right now on this printer. Kind of learning as I go with some of the temperatures. It's coming out pretty good. I actually dropped it, so there's some scratches on it and some marks. But so this is kind of the quality that I'm getting out of it right now. I'm getting better. I started with the head. I'm actually gonna reprint the head because I have the temperature down better. So this is kind of, the quality that you can maybe expect, but better. I think it'll just get better as I go. This guy right here, much bigger, much cleaner print on the P1S. This is $1,000 printer, right? So can't ask a $100 printer, right? But it is getting better as I'm getting a little bit better with the settings. So back to this guy. This thing was an absolute dream to set up. It's got machining done right in here where the top piece sits in, so you don't have to use a square. It sits right in the grooves. 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 2 screws here. This guy snaps in place. Watched the video that it came out with, and basically put the plate on, cleaned it, auto leveled it. It did the Z height for me. The belt tensions on both of these 2 belts right here was all the way tighten, 1 turn out, all the way tighten, 1 turn out, and I've been rocking and rolling since. I printed a few other things out other than this Batman that came out a little cleaner than this guy. I think with this being a silk, I've been playing around with the temperatures, and I'm just getting a little bit better as we go. Now, this guy came with 2 different software or slicers. It came with, I can't pronounce the first name, starts with the P, and then it also came with the Anycubic slicer. The Anycubic slicer for me works a lot better. It's got all the same things that the Bamboo slicer has. But it's got the Anycubic Neo 2 info in there. You don't have to do anything. You just gotta kind of play around with the temperatures. I haven't changed the speed. I haven't done anything crazy. I've changed the layer height and the temperatures, and this thing's been rocking and rolling ever since. Memory card goes right here. You just pull it out, put it in your computer, export the file, go right in there, and you can rock and roll. If you can change the temperatures right now if you wanted to, while it's rolling. Everything that the more expensive printers have as far as the slicing is concerned, it seems that this one has too. I've been printing for over a year with this thing, or right at a year. I wasn't expecting much for $150. I have been looking for a while for a cheap bed slinger. I was looking for them used. This was on Amazon for $150 with a 30-day, return policy. I was like, if I'm ever going to do it, now's probably the time. And I'm actually very, very impressed with the quality that this thing produced. Take your time, play around with the temperatures. There's a lot I still need to learn. And I really believe, considering it's printing right next to $1,000, $1,200 printer, I'm pretty impressed. It's a great printer for someone who's just starting out. It really is. It's simple to use. It's simple to set up. The quality, I feel is pretty good, other than the head, because I dropped it and I'm going to have to replace it. But it's got really good details. I haven't had any adhesion issues. I mean, look at the chainmail on the back, the rope. So I would highly recommend it. One of the things that I do on all my prints, just while you go, is once you clean the plate, throw some glue. I buy this from Amazon. I always put a little bit of glue down, and I think you'll be rocking and rolling. Good luck.
So here's my review of the Mega Zero 2.0 from Anycubic. I'll mostly be comparing this to the Anycubic Mega S. Is one of the older models I still have over here. Pretty happy with the Mega Zero. Very basic setup. It did take longer to put together than the Mega S did. The aluminum took a little bit, and it was a little hard for one person to be able to spread the two sidebars apart to get the screws in the bottom properly. But once I did, it went together pretty easy. Even the wiring, which seemed a little confusing at first, once you follow the labeling diagrams for all the separate wires, went together pretty easy. What I like about it mostly is the magnetic build surface. I printed out the owl last night, and even when it was hot, I just pick it up and bend the magnetic build surface, and it popped right off hot. So I don't have to let the Anycubic cool down with the Ultra Base and put an ice pack on top of the print to change the differential temperature to help it pop up faster. I also got a hold of the Anycubic filament, which is what I used to print it. I'll talk about that here in a minute. What I did not like about this printer, and it's a really picky thing, is you can see one side of this XY axis has a lead motor and screw for our XY gantry here, and the other side does not. The other side is where our power supply mounts. I don't like that there's only one side getting motion, as I feel that could lead to this side either being higher or lower on the print at any point in time, and your print head running at an angle eventually. But I'm pretty sure there's a part of a way to somehow just buy another lead screw and motor and rewire it yourself. I do like the magnetic print bed. I cannot say that enough. I do like that it's set up. If I wanted to get to the motherboard, it was much easier. I would just have to two screws uninstall this, flip it over to get access to the motherboard and the wiring, or to change the screen. If I had to get into the power supply at any time, so I need to change the main cooling fan, I don't have to actually uninstall the entire printer. I just need to two screws, pull the power supply out, unconnect the wires, and it's completely independent from everything. That's one thing the Mega S I can't do. I have to take off the entire XY gantry, flip it over, and take the paneling off at the side. So upgrades are a little more time consuming. But overall, I think the Mega Zero is a solid printer. Same build capacity size as the Mega S. The print quality on the Owl, there was a little string up top, but overall it's good. A little not so great of a first layer because I haven't quite dialed it in yet. One thing I did notice is the four corners of my build plate are higher, and it's low in the middle. It is bold, so it's going to be very hard to, with just the default firmware, to make that work out. I will probably have to flash some new firmware at some point and get a mesh bed leveling system like I did on my Mega S, because my Mega S has a high point ridge actually running from front to back right here, and then it's bold, and then high over here again, and then low on the other side. But mesh bed leveling fixes that really easy. And if I can flash that easily, I will have little to no problems with this printer. Needs some basic calibration out of the box, but like everything does, I will say the Owl printed much better this one than it did on the Mega S. I barely see any layer lines. It's kind of hard for you to see in the phone. I do have an artifact right there off the feathers. The beak is a little rough, but basic calibration will take care of most of this. I do like the filament. It blends very well. It makes a very smooth. I'm not quite sure what this layer line is. The layer height, because this is the default G code that was on the printer. But the filament is great quality. It is. I would say it puts the Hatchbox filament that I usually use run for its money. So I would definitely consider, if it is a deal, buying this basic Anycubic filament again. Works out really well. I do like just Anycubic, made in China. Works out really well. One thing I do like, which is a really weird thing, I do like that on the tip of this filament it had a card to use for if you're changing filament to run this filament line through to help it stop staying or tangling, so you don't have to print off a clip. But that is my overall review. It's a solid printer for the price. Definitely equivalent, I think, to the Under Series 3s, though I haven't used one of those, so I couldn't say for sure, but that's what it reminds me off of at the top of my head. Definitely going to become a workhorse of my two printers, I think.
So first of all, this printer is very good. However, if you notice here, I have my lid off, and I also have my, the color thing, the AMS, whatever they call it. It's Bamboo Lab calls it AMS. But if you notice here, I have these screws off here in the back, and you have to look really close. You probably can't see it that well, but the issues are there's a series of connections here in the back of this, and you have to pop this off and pull it off. And when you do that, there's a sensor inside of this, and the sensor allows it to know whenever the bed is level. And I don't know what Anycubic did, but this has a serious issue with being able to tell when the bed is leveled. Also, you'll notice here the PTFE tube also has issues whenever you put certain types of filament in. I've had clogs, so just keep that in mind as you're deciding on this purchase. It might be worth it to you. It might not be. It's really only good if you can maintain it yourself. If you can't maintain it and you don't know how to do anything mechanically, don't get this. Get something else, probably a Bamboo Lab or something. Is it worth the savings? Yes, I think it was worth the savings. Also, I don't know if you can tell or not, but this is very loud as well. This fan here, when they designed this, and I don't know if it's just my copy of it, or like my particular one that I got from Amazon, but this right here, there's a fan right on this little side right here, and that fan rubs against this plastic housing right here, and it gets really loud. So if you don't like loud noises, I don't recommend this printer also. It's good, and it makes really nice prints, but overall, I don't recommend it if you're trying to, just have an easy-to-use printer.
It's not. This is a bench. It's not doing right. And it's bringing in the filament. Every time, this is what I get.
Okay, so we made sure it was at the exact. No. Oh yeah, before it was like right at there. Now it's Dad, we forgot to cut that little piece off.
Look, it did it for itself.
Oh right. It does it like perfectly. I'm excited to see how this works. See how this turns out. Wait, there's an M. It honestly does not look like a spider. It just looks like a real cool thing that I just make. Instead of writing, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not excited at all for third grade. But I do not like that smell.
Alright. Well, I'm fucking done.
So it's not always covered in the manuals as leveling the x-axis. As you see here, I pulled it all the way up as far as it'll go on this side. And there's a little wobble. Now, since I have a phone on my hand, I can't show you, but when it wobbles, it's these two wheels over here, the top and the bottom. And when it wobbles just that little bit, they get loose. So we do have some play in there. So what you'll do is you'll grab your wrench, loosen this centric nut over here, which will loosen this up because these are pretty snug. It's almost acceptable. This side, I can spin this with my finger. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen this one and we're gonna snug this one up. And that will get rid of the rattle here, and then we will tighten this one up as well. And that will level your bar.
Nothing I can do to distinguish which one is better outside of like the slightness that's on the combat. I think are a little better. My bat speed's better with this, but I like the barrel size more on the combat. I mean,
I think the Mega Zero 2.0 is an awesome 3D machine. It does exactly what I was hoping it would do. Easy to use, nice and clean, and highly recommended.
Between the time when you arrived and the time you exited with the briefcase. As I said, in instance under the leaving of the house, nor did anyone else. Is it? No, still. Correct. But 5 jars you can also escape and search your property. No additional discovery.
That is so fast, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So I had high hopes for this machine, but every time I try to print, the nozzle gets jerked out by the tray and it jams constantly. It is almost worthless.
Especially if you can do the pushing.